he's a person actually he actually used assistive technology a lot while his overall life journey, and also he's a physician, he's a scientist, and also he there are a lot of various papers out there about Stephen Hawking. All right, let's look into it. What is disability, first of all? Why assistive technology, and who going to be benefited all about? So that here I mentioned more than 1 billion person in the world actually have some sort of disability, and this corresponded to about 15%. Basically, world's population, when you take it world's population, this comes around 15% of it. So out of 110 and 190 million people have significant difficulty in functioning. Functioning means all sort of vision function, basically eyesight as well, balance, and their postures, their basically based on the motor function issues, their movement, physical body movement issues, and all sort of brain issues. And there are many issues. We'll take it to what are the different types of disability all about. Okay, so let's go ahead. So this is how what he used in the in his system, where Intel actually developed an application for him. Basically, his AT is called assistive technology AAC, augmentative assistive technology communication device, where we'll take you to this. What are different types of assistive technology? Who's going to be benefit, and how we can develop. So before that, let's look into what's today's agenda is, history and scope of it. And before that, we need to know about what is engineering psychology. So all evolved from that perspective. Okay, psychology is a human. It's all about humans' behavior and characters, and how actually respond to any sort of machine, or any sort of response as well. So it's all about human behavior. So let's look into that first, and then history and scope, and ST technology, then types, trends, and applications. All right. So let's come to the all about. History now. So basically, that it's all the industrial revolution actually start about revolutionized in 19th. Most of the developments, major developments happen in 19th as well. So that high speed aircrafts. Okay. It's been used in World War I and World War II as well, and complex machineries, weaponaries as well. But the problem here, they identify over the period of time, the workers were adapt to the machine through time and motion, and weaponaries was complex but did not perform up to the expectation. Okay. And so resulting what? Human errors, even after selecting best people and providing better training. So see, even with the human, because human has the ability of learning, and human has the ability of adapting as well. So, but the problem is that when they use to the machines, okay, human to machine interface, HMI, human machine interface, is a very big topic, and that's a different thing we'll talk about later. But when you come to the human machine, there is something called human psychology or engineering psychology. It need to be understood properly, or else there will be really difficult to integrate both in terms. Even today's laptops, or any machines which we are dealing with, actually gone through that process. Okay, so we need to really look into that perspective. So poor design result in many accidents. What are the major problems happen with them? Design issues actually causes various losses to the country wise, individual wise, and it's a world actually looking forward that perspective, where how design have to be more adaptive and also inclusive as well. Okay, so here that's the giving rise of engineering psychology comes into basically studying human characters, and there was no consistency in design of aircraft control. Okay, basically on off position. This is an example that was that happened. So on position for some control was up. Okay, for others was down. Okay, this is a basic thing. This is a switch, right? Difficult to remember, in a dogfight. So the fight happened. It's just like a very extreme condition, right? It's happened very rapidly. If some people actually learn is on top position, and some actually learn on is on down position, then that's completely messy, right? So the simple things like that, there are various problems happen in this design in the initial stage itself, and that makes people to understand about the a need of human studying human characters is really important. So military setting computerized systems were made compatible with the human components is really important. So this is a scope I would like to put across, like the medicine, education, healthcare. These are the various applications comes into it, and where ICT technology has really good importance in this space itself. And physical and mentally limitations, cognitive workload, applied systems, and environment design, complex and technology infrastructures are the various aspects that we look into it. So let's look into what is human psychology all about, and what are the components. So when you just look into here, you can see psychology as a two terms. Like there is comes under two terms. One is a clinical perspective, and other is experimental perspective. For example, day-to-day life experiments. In the clinical aspects, there are various components. The doctors look into it, where how the patient, or how a kid or a adult, or anyone, any human being actually behaves to specific set of condition, okay, or specific set of activity. There are a lot of checklists for that. When you look into in that perspective, there are clinical perspective and experimental. Experimental means clinical trials. When you develop something or design something, we need to know about how the actual response look like with the real experience. So that's what experimental is basically terms like a clinical trials, studies, research papers all about. Clinically, there is a set of theories which is out there, which the outcome, it's a biological outcome, already been published in various scientific articles. So both can be taken in account and design in psychological physiological level, where how the behavior, the motion perspective, the motions, human motion, hand movement, finger movement, eye movement, and their overall gestures as really important. So both both in animal perspective and human perspectives is we need to be taking care in the engineering psychology. Then how it works, basically it has a sensor. So everything start with the by input device called sensor. So sensor dictate what are the types of motion, temperature, gestures, is it there are various component comes into here. EEG signals all comes into this sensors out, camera, images. So there are various components come, input devices comes over here. Sensors, cognitive human, something which is this is the human side. I'm saying cognitive sensor makes a cognitive outcome. So if, for example, sensor identified, or it is actually identified set of inputs which given to the system, and which is, it can be all sort of cognitive in it. Cognitive means that it can be motion, it can be image, it can be sort of sound, okay, some actions, motor functions, fine motor, gross motors, or are the difference of motor functions. So that's how the whole cognitive components look into it. Controllers, what controllers do is that controllers identify these cognitive functions and may characterize in these specific terms. Like it can be nowadays machine learning comes into the picture, where how the machine actually identified or map the specific cognitive characters, and it will be respond based on that. Okay, so this is how the whole thing controller. Then the control unit, dynamic display. Okay, so this is the machine side and this is the human side. Okay, there are two types of levels are there. So and there is input coming from all perspectives: psychology perspective, physiology perspective, engineering. Okay, chemical engineering is important, civil, mechanical, industry, computer science, electronics, and communication, electrical as well. So other perspective like anthro, geo, socio, and architectural basis as well. So because these are the different perspectives, this actually aid to the engineering psychology. So engineering psychology is the basics of any sort of assistive technology design. Okay. So that's how I just put across this perspective, where this is how the whole things look like, and this is how assistive technology being seen. Okay. So let's look at what is assistive technology. It's a product or equipment and a system that enhance learning, working, and daily living for a person with disability. So we found that almost 15% of world population are there. So the market, you can imagine the market size for assistive technology itself is that big. Okay, when you compare or characterize it. So it can be item, it can be piece of equipment, or it can be software program, or a product system that is used to increase, maintain, and improve the functional capability of person with disability. These are the very two broad definition about AT. And let's look into the what are the types of ST technology and how it actually been been made, or how it can be classified as well. So here you can see ST technology can be low tech. It's a communication board made of cardboards and fuzzy effects. So we'll go through the various companies all deal with these sort of things, and how that various companies actually taking ST technology as very serious business, and and take it up into consideration as well. So these are various types, like high tech. It can be hardware, can be computer hardwares, and computer software, inclusive. So it can be inclusive. Why the term called inclusive? For example, we have books, right? We have books to learn in schools as well. We provide with the proper curriculum based learning books as well. Is it everyone can read the book? That's the question. Is it because, as you said, as we mentioned here, the world's population, 15% of population are in different types of disability, and some of people can read or some more not able to. So what about others? Like, how what technology makes them read, or what do you mean by reading a content or reading a concept means understanding about it, right? So or knowing about what is this all concept all about and how it's going to be benefit in the day-to-day life. So that is that's a that's a right for everyone. Okay, so inclusive or inclusivity society. There are inclusive society are building out in the US right now, across the world itself. That's a big term where actually people use in the disabled sector itself. People won't call disability; it's called inclusivity. Okay, inclusive is really important. Where when you design something, or if you design for a whole market, or that component should be have a one sort of inclusivity in nature, because then only people with a different disability can able to access. So that actually that actually makes your product very unique. Okay, that's really important. So that's what companies, like various companies, I'll show you various tech giants are coming with that inclusive design. So these are different types of inclusive design, where low tech, high tech, hardware based inclusive, and mounting devices, position devices as well, computer hardware, software. So let's look into one by one. As I mentioned, low tech device, mid tech, and high tech. So there are various company produces various applications, like keyboard, even the disabled people have to access internet, right? So how they access internet if they cannot able to move their hands, or cannot able to move their head as well, and to come to the machine, because machine cannot come over, or human cannot come to the machine, right? In that perspective, so machine had to be designed in that perspective to access by the human. So these are the various ways that the types of ST technologies in nature, where we actually there are various design factors also being considered, and in when you look into this ST technology types, and we'll take it to those part, and definitely that you can connect to our team, that how each component can be built in. So there are various scientific factors that we need to be considered, and different types of sensors can able to give more accurate data regarding it. So this all matters with the design factors. Okay, so now look into what are the types of disability over here. Okay, so who are going to use it? So who are going to use ST technology? So basically for inclusive society, and basically the type who having disability, right? So here I just putting across a set of disabled types of disability. One is autism spectrum disorder. It is a, I can say it's a spectrum of disorders. There are a whole lot of multiple disabilities are included in it, including mental, or including cognitive perspective, social perspective, and daily life skill issues are there. Language-based issues, there are physiological issues as well, and psychological issues. So there are a lot of components, speech, linguistic issues, and so there are various components comes into this autism spectrum. That's why it's called spectrum. It's a start from low functional to high functional, like that. Low functional means it's having severe disability. High functional having some kind of moderate and high functional. So high functional having, they're having only learning disability, but they are pretty fine or normal, okay to, they are basically almost equal to normal kid, but they're having some learning disability aspect. And we'll go in more deeper in next session as well. But this is just to give you a understanding about what are the types of disability, how assistive technology is actually being classified and based on this disability. So autism spectrum disorder, blindness, low vision, deafness, hard to hear, computer access problem, communication disorder, mobility impairment, mounting disabilities, and learning disabilities is a other classification where in ASD also the learning disabilities are there, cognitive disabilities are there, web accessibility. Earlier I said augmentative and alternative communication. So this one AAC is what where initially we saw that Stephen Hawking were using that his device were AAC devices, where in the screen which I shown earlier, right? All right, so let's look into this ASD. What does autism look like? And just look into this video. It's a really amazing video that been developed by Alexander. So he's one of the artists. Okay.
And that's wonderful. Some differences are easy to say, height, gender, eye color, and so on. Other differences can't be seen, however, proves. Here, there's special skill. Interestingly, the way we see the world is also different. For instance, what do you see in this drawing? Most people see a dog, but some of you might have seen a rabbit. Whichever you saw, you are correct. This is just a trick drawing to show you that all brains work differently. The brain is your body's computer. It works differently for all of us and controls how you learn. That's why we are all good at different things. How you feel, which is why we all feel different emotions. And how you communicate. Sometimes the brain is connected in such a way it affects senses and how we perceive and read situations and interactions. This is known as autism. Many people have autism, so it's likely you already know someone who is autistic. And for this reason, it's useful to know a little bit about autism. The special wiring inside an autistic brain can sometimes make a person good at tasks we may find difficult, such as mathematics, drawing, or music. It can also do the opposite, and activities we find too easy are incredibly difficult to them, such as making friends. The senses constantly send information to your brain about your surroundings and other people. However, when a person's brain and its senses don't communicate well, the brain can become overwhelmed and confused, affecting how they see the world. Picture yourself walking down the street. This is how an autistic brain may experience the same world. Scary, isn't it? Sadly, in many cases, the person can't say out loud how they feel. So even though there's chaos going on in their heads, they seem okay on the outside, unable to ask for help. We will develop behaviors to help us feel calm in uncomfortable situations. We may look away, hug ourselves, chew our fingernails, fidget, bite our lips, and so on. Equally, autistic people develop behaviors that help them cope with these intense moments. These actions may seem unusual, but they're just their way to feel calm. When they happen, it means they are having a hard time. The kind thing to do is not to give them an even harder time by getting cross, ignoring it, or mocking. People with autism need friends who are willing to take the time. With good communication and plenty of patience, everyone would be better off. People with autism are not ill or broken. They simply have a unique view of the world. And with a little support from their friends, they might just be able to share that view with us. Autism can make amazing things.
All right. So basically, this is actually a good animation by Alexander, who actually is an artist. And so basically, what he's saying is that autism. We are actually looking for autism over here, and we'll go to the one by one and in a communicative aspect as well. So when you look into that, this is how a person with autism actually feel. Okay, when you look into the video itself is showing that when a normal person walk into the streets, okay, he see is what the right color the actually everyone sees as well. But even the autistic aspect, he might see his hears in different perspective, or might be he hears a very loud voice, might be seeing everything very blur as well, and maybe in different, it's all unique in each kid and perspective as well. So that is why they are very much they're so much irritative, and they much because they feel irritated in their inner thoughts, because of the sensor systems actually got tangled. Okay, so how to how we actually make them understand something which is in the normal world. Okay, so what we did, so basically we actually gone through that process where we try to understand how a kid actually know about any for example an apple. Okay, how he sees an apple. So how we learn an apple in such a way that seeing a apple in a book, which is a red color with a round shape and with a small leaf over there. And in the beginning itself, we been thought like, this is what A for apple, and this is how it look like. This is a red color as well, and seen in an actual world as well. But that is a progressive learning, right? Every in from our beginning itself, we have a progressive learning, that because of we have something called thinking capacity, or something called we have to make every single bits and pieces relate to each other. Relationship is really important, where we're seeing some component and being teach in such a way that this is apple and this is a fruit, comes under category called food as well. So we eventually been learned that this is an apple. But most of the case, when you train autistic kids, they actually see just an image with some maybe red or maybe some other color. Some might have color issues as well, but they cannot relate things. Okay, they cannot relate things. They cannot even take other bits and pieces of learn things into one single storyline and say that, okay, this is what I learned about. No, that won't happen with their brain. But some might actually some might actually can able to understand and learn things better than us, because they have some high IQ. There are various as I mentioned, it's a big spectrum. So most of the case, low functional kids are there more in low functional means severe autistic kids are there in the in this in the community as well. So now let's look into it. How other people like so about now let's talk about non-verbals, because that's one of the videos actually I would like to take you to this, so that you'll get a context about that. Okay, so
you're such a good girl.
W-E-L-L. Yeah, she's well.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing how you can understand her. Do you guys have like telepathy or something? Oh my gosh, what is she thinking now?
Is she doing this for herself? Is this how she communicates? Is this how you communicate? Can I? So do like is this like what I'm supposed to do? It's like, do I type it in here? Is that how I do it?
Do you like Clueless? Oh, it's probably a little bit hard for you. I bet you like The Little Mermaid. It's really good that you're taking her out for dinner. Are you going out for dinner? To get something to eat?
Yesterday, I was going to Nicole's house, university.
The Parramatta? The brothel?
God will heal you if you pray. If you pray, God will make you talk. I'll pray for you.
Where's your carer? Are you by yourself.
Hi! How are you? You're good? Oh, that's great. I'm so glad you're good. Wait. Before you say, before you sign anything, I could do sign language. I love you, right?
Next. Oh, are you two together? Can she lip read?
Hey. Like your haircut. You too.
Hawaiian pizza?
Oh, I think make sure it's some tomato.
Oh, sounds like 3 syllables?
Curry, yeah, 3 syllables.
Not 2 syllables.
Maybe make sure it's extra cheese. Maybe that's what it is.
Cheese? Isn't he such a good boy? Such a good communicator.
Tell me about your daddy. Don't worry, she's a bit rude.
Okay, this is for food, all right? It's not for drugs.
So here, what what happened here is that everyone tried to make them understand, but until and unless we have a proper system in place to communicate with them, there is no point that we can there's a communication. This actually gives the importance of assistive technology tool. Okay, what actually makes people understand, or a peer-to-peer communication should be very seamless. All right, so this is just a small short example I would like to put across. So now let's look into low-tech assistive technology, where how the devices look like. So where we look into various institution clinics, centers, where for learning disability, or a clinical like autistic clinics, or cerebral palsy clinic, dyslexia. So there are various types of disability as we've gone through. So here you can see there are various types of low-tech device: magnifying glass, handheld, magnifies large printed text, uses paper, pen to communicate canes and walkers. So these are the different types of low-tech device which used to train in a normal centers or school as well. But it has certain limitation, and also need to be modified, and also work certain. We need to see various clinical trials in order to see that how effectively they can be used. So based on each unique disability that has been designed. Okay, so let's look into the mid-tech, where there are various devices out there, like talking spell, like talking tom is another kind of right now various companies like Avas, Mindtree actually designing a talking tom similar to talking tom. There are different application. Okay, and checker manuals, wheelchairs, electronics. So these are different types of mid-tech types of ST technologies. Then we'll see another one is high-tech ST technology, where it actually uses digital aiding tools, VR, virtual reality come into the picture. And also there are various systems, as even Stephen Hawking is actually using high-tech ST technology tools, because including all sort of rigs as well. So let's look into how ST technology being chosen. Okay, how we can able to identify or being chosen by what category. Collect child and family information. First of all, when a person come into a center, these are the set of things they do it. Okay, identify, they collect child and family information. What is the history about their disability? Identify activities for participation. So for example, some of activities these people doesn't like it. Some they like to go through it. Okay, so there are set of activities being already categorized and regulatory by the regulatory bodies. There are various activities being designed. So there are various assessment tool like ABA, applied behavior analysis. ABA is one of assessment tool. CAR scale is another diagnostics tool as well. PDMS is for gross motor functionality. Then so there are various assessment tool as well out there, and they use this tool to identify the activity of participation. So how, in this various activity, how the kid has been responding, that is what they do it. Then what can be observed that indicates the intervention is successful. Okay, so for example, intervention means therapy. Okay, how to train a kid to learn specific task, that's called therapy or intervention. So it can be observed that indicate the intervention is successful. So they'll do a lot of rehearsal versions. There are various rehearsal versions, means that multiple interventions, while they do it, each intervention there will be a data capture will be happening, and based on the data capture they'll be do multiple multiple trials, and their modification will be helpful for them, and brainstorm the AT solution. So one, based on the multiple trials, we can know that okay, this is the human behavior, or that particular unique person behavior look like. Okay, so we'll get a degree of freedom of to know how the system should respond based on that unique characters. Okay, that is based on the data. A minimum 100 data sets is required to at least start off with the prototype or any sort of research. So that's what that's a standard thing, and we have 600 different samples we did before we come into the product. Initially we start with 65, and eventually now we have 600 different samples. So then is brainstorm AT solutions, with the team of, as I mentioned earlier, like, including the all sort of people like, psychology, physiological aspect, engineering aspect, and other, various architectural aspects as well. So that's what the brainstorming, the team will actually, these are the set of teams will be actually, being a part of it. And what did they try out to the actual person where the data is being collected, and it's a person or a group of people, then identify that worked. Okay, whether it's working, then they actually go and modify it and make a final product out of it. So that is how A is being chosen as well. So who's actually choosing the right AT tools? Because the earlier one, as I mentioned, this has been done by a group of people. Okay, so for example, as I mentioned here, so these are the people who actually evolved in this sort of activity or designing, and I said, and here we have doctors as well. So once this has been done by this group of people, who will be taking care of it? So it's been evaluated by doctors, psychologists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, and special educators, vision and hearing specialist, and depend on the child's specific needs. So these are the list of therapists who actually evaluate or validate set of AT tools. So that is how it actually being classified. Okay, so these also, even if we develop some set of components, then we need to get validated by these doctors, and also there are various guidelines by organizations. So I can just show you some of guidelines actually by various organization, and just show that part as well. Okay, so I just take it to that part, and that right now there are various, this is what this is guidelines by Disha Infrastructure. Is the government of India. Is recently, like last month, they they introduced this for teachers and leadership training, lessons plan, teachers tool, explanation. So basically for children with disability. Okay, so it's constituted by the Ministry of Education and Government of India, and there are various guidelines like how it can be used. Sort of here also they mentioned about like ASD, and so this for the disabled children with disability, how to train education or train lessons in through various aspects. So there are various government initiatives like the One Nation, One Digital Platform, Disha, Swayam Prabha, like that, e-Pathshala. So there are certain guidelines. So for virtual labs, how it works. So even for the normal kids also is do, but this specifically they mentioned for disabled kids as well. So that's, I just show you, and it has been already in online. I just show you that because it's having a really good impact while we developing as well. So that's really important because we have to go through the guidelines. Like as I mentioned with who's choosing the right AT, as I mentioned, these people. Apart from that, there are institutions who actually research organization actually validated in the AT system. So, for example, for autistic design or for autism community, the Rehabilitation Council of India is there. The National Trust, NIPMR is in Kerala, Social Security Mission, then and NIMHANS in Bangalore, and also in Lucknow there is a mental health department by government of Lucknow, and also there are various. I mean UP from government of UP as well. So there are various social security mission being by state wise are there, and uh, and there are various institutions, private organizations are being taken. So that's what hospital, clinics and rehabs actually uses so we can validate it by these centers, rehabilitation programs, where they look into, they actually they actually put this solution, whatever 80 tools we develop, they put in daily activities and impact, how the impact is by the severe disability, and has been proven with that stuff, this with the various issues as well. So to schools, they provide this sort of technology to know about how the kids been respond to. There are various kids even in every CBC schools right now, they have special education sectors or a department, so that if any kind of special education tools out there or building out by the people that been evaluated by these people as well. And psychiatric setting is important, and home setting as well. All right, so these are the various trends in ST technology, like portability, inclusive design, voice assistant, improving the ST technology mechanism, then improving user technology in a physical interface as well, sharing of control between the user and technology, availability, accessibility. These are actually broader, in a broader perspective, is called inclusivity. Okay, inclusive, so it should be made for an inclusive society, but this is what the classification look like, how it should be portable, and it should be inclusive design, voice assistant, so improve the ST technology mechanism. So there are various systems out there, how there are various guidelines out there. There are various associations like ATs, AT is another association which I can introduce, is a ST technology industry associations are there, and they basically, this is a worldwide network. They do have a lot of yearly and also weekly, monthly events they do it. And Toby Dynavox is, and Toby is a eye tracking company which actually do it. So we use Toby eye products as well, and there are various companies involved in this AT. So let's look into it, how they actually just have. So there's a big video, but don't need to, it doesn't need to look into it, but just I'll show you something which is you can able to refer later, how it is it's been classified. So anyway, you can actually go through this website which gives you complete idea about it. So it's a global ST technology partners for online development. And let's look into it, who are basic companies basically develop in these areas. So I just so there are various evidence based practices and ST technology being developed, and research papers. We published around 3 papers in various international organizations like ABAI, INSAR. I'll take you to that part as well. So what are the barriers? So when you look into disabling barriers, is like widespread of evidence is basically inadequate policies and standards. But now India government actually come across with various standards and regulatory, but not across world itself. There are in European and US and Australia, Middle East, they have specific things, but in across world, then this for inclusive regulatory is really not standardized. So these are the various barriers that actually makes because this inclusive is a very important component. Disability have to be taken care, and they have a right to know knowledge, and right to learn information as well. So we have to make sure that the system what we develop has been in inclusive design as well. So negative attitudes, we know that the society is in earlier society about autism is having a really bad picture in early times as well. Now people know about it, and sometimes parents won't even express that my kid having this issue. So that need to be change, and that need to be coming nowadays is almost more common. And there are various Facebook societies and chapters, and also Facebook pages out there, groups are there. And I actually know one of the person who actually motivated. He's an autistic person, but he's a social media guy. He's a vlogger. Okay, and just I'll share that part as well. So this is what about disability barriers, which makes this makes is really difficult to come to the actual market. So all right, so let's look into it. Let's look into the various companies which actually in India is really doing really well. And first, I would like to put across our companies, but are not here. But AUTICARE is our product, but I don't mention here as well. I'll take you to that part. So here, these are the different list of companies where do various ST technology products out there. So and these are the other companies which I mentioned. These are really most important companies which do it. So let's put Kickstart is basically an initiative by Google, where they basically do all sort of coding. It's for people who actually do programming, where actually build for inclusive people as well. So there are various activities by Google for developers to build a sort of inclusive application as well. So then another one is Oswald Labs, the Oswald Foundation, where they create various devices for dyslexia, basically having any memory issues. They're actually award-winning accessibility technology company, and they have application which is designed in such a way that how a dyslexia patient or a kid or adults can actually read books easily, read papers and other materials in the real world. Okay, so it's an augmented reality application which helping students who are having dyslexia. Then another one is Barrier Break. Okay, where they have 6x6 mobile application, which is it's a magnifier for have kids or patient who are having vision issues. Detect light intensity and is simple with a simple tap on your mobile. Basically, it can be turn your mobile into magnifier. So that's basically, there's a magnifier application and also intensity changing application. So combination of that they can do. And low vision tools, basically augmented reality application they use. Initiatives like TechShare. This is what they actually work on. Then Rise Legs is another company which actually especially for who are having issues with legs, and also issue with various biomechanics. So it's actually makes their body movements more effectively. So this basically artificial legs with the IoT sensors and BCI, brain computer interfaces as well. So it's been used for and it's they actually get funding from Indian Army, Defense, and also D Lab. Okay, these are the various companies which support this startup company as well. And Inclove is another company which actually provides matchmaking platform for and disability kids community as well. Then Movability Clothing. They actually Mobility is another company which is basically they stitch and design for disabled person who are having their body just issues, and so it will be looks really good because they cannot normal clothing is all based on normal gestures, right? But for inclusive people, they need to be designed in such a way that, and they take a very seriously with the design for their clothing, and they create a really good clothing aspect as well. Then innovation is basically for blind people, for braille kind of application here, which is shown here. Then these are the global companies. I'm not put across all the companies out there. There are various global companies. These are the giant companies working in this ST technology, where you can actually take it as a case studies and know about what they developed, and know how about they actually build products as well. So Belton, I just put across one company over here. Belton is they take hearing tools as well. So let's look into the aspect like exposure to national and international startup ecosystem. So what we need to look into it. So we are I'm talking to this engineering community, right? So there is a responsibility that you can take it up, where there are various initiatives out there. Like Startup Initiative, Startup India, initiative, and also various companies, societies like Social Alpha, Assistive Tech, and also various inclusive technology startup companies is been evolving out there, and also international organization Accessibility Expo as well. So we take you to that how Embright came to this various pathway. And just take it to that, where what we did in our application in our company. So so basically, we have been supported by, these are the organization. We actually got a BIRAC grant, and because for developing an assistive technology product, and there are various, schemes out there by the government of India, and Startup India is another to set up your companies. They'll help us to set it up, and also various organizations like Kerala Startup Mission in Trivandrum and across Kerala, they have various, association and various initiatives for developing many aspects. Like, it's not just assistive technology alone, and a very broader perspective. But what I'm saying is that these organizations, actually, we've gone through these organizations and develop our platform. So we just sharing up how we develop and what are the various ways that you can actually in touch with. So you can actually look into it, these perspective. Like, there are various companies, organization, institutes actually develops acceleration programs and also incubation system. So even in your your college might have incubation system where your project can be taken into a national level or international level in a startup perspective, where you can look into this perspective, this idea, where look into one disability we have mentioned about over here, and see how actually you have to go through all the communities, groups out there, and understand about how we can develop a really good application. It can be mobile application, it can be any sort of a helpful application as well. Various technology out there. Use the technology to become a superhero for a disabled community. So that's what my advice, that you guys pick it up. And there are various applications and there's organization we gone through, and our product has been launched by our CM, and these are the various awards we got, and our products being launched by in various occasions as well. And these are government initiatives. We got grants, almost 1 CR grants we got to develop this a platform as well. And also we got shortlisted in Guytech Supernova Challenge in Dubai. So this is an example of assistive technology company which came across. It took around 2.5 years right now. So our journey starts in 2018. And that's how I'm giving you the a plan that this you can able to do it, or a team who actually building out something like that, you can able to work it out. So we went to various events, like international events like CES. This is pre-COVID time I'm talking about. Now everything's in virtual, and this is what's important. Okay. So and also our earlier Health Minister K.K. Shailaja ma'am actually helped us in getting into this platform there in Dubai, where she got invited to speak about NIPA and in international forum. So we also got in a really good platform to produce our our product over there. And there are various engagement happen with most of the Accessibility Expo is another expo for AT alone. Assistive technology alone. And so this is what actually I'm just giving you an idea about how we made our product and showcase to the world. And also we gone through various workshops, awareness programs, and made people understand about this product. And also I'll show you about our product. It is all about it's a learning platform for autism spectrum disorder. Just take it to this. So this is a platform we built. It's called AUTICARE, and it's an XR AI platform for assistive technology learning platform for autism spectrum disorder and neurodevelopment disorder. So we use VR, AR, and mixed reality technology. It has a mobile application and web application. So this is about our company, and we understand how it can be effectively used in various areas. Like, it can be used in schools, government organization, health department, CSR organization, therapists, doctors can use our platform. Already we implemented around 20 different centers and across all the institutions in Kerala, Bangalore, TN, and Goa. Then this is how it works with, and these are the our customers, Kerala Social Security Mission under Health Department, and NAPIMAR, and so we have various versions remote. Now we introduce in the COVID time Teletherapy consultation platform. It's called AUTICARE Remote, and we provide a headgear along with it, and called AUTICARE Lite. So I'll show you the video of our platform. how it actually effectively use. So this is how a kid actually who having a cognitive issues, as you seen through about what is autistic kid look like, right? So we provide really comfortable environment for them to train and learn fine motor skills, gross motor skills as well. And this is a ST technology product we develop for autistic kids and other neurodevelopment kids as well. So this is how they they can start learning their drawing skills, writing skills, because they are actually having an issue with this training all these things. And this is a therapist helping the kid how to learn how to pick object and put in the basket. So using our tool, they actually learning this thing as well. So you can see how a kid is actually picking an apple and put in the basket, and so basically he's learning how to match the fruits, and because this has been trained in normal centers, but most of the centers doesn't have a proper system to train the kid as well. So they can learn virtually, and also various activities they can learn. So this is all a pre-COVID time, and now we actually introduce AUTICARE Lite, which is a lighter version parents can use in home as well. So this is actually the the kid is actually responding. What is all he's learning the alphabet in a virtually immersive environment. So it'll be more effective than showing a picture. And this is what projection room we actually develop for kids with dyslexia, mental retardation, cerebral palsy in NIPMR in Thrissur as well. So even for a motor function and other equipments can also synchronize with the environment. So it's a projection, sensory projection room as well. All right, so this is about us, and so this I also be training how the kid can actually learn in flight simulations or things as well. So we have patented for our platform, it's a system and method for diagnosing and predicting level of autism spectrum. Then these are the various other competitors. We found that how AUTICARE is differ from the other competitor, where we have all sort of behavioral dashboard, AI avatar, data logging system, biosensories. We use eye tracking sensor, EEG sensors, BCI, brain computer interface, and FNR as well to know about their behavioral aspect and their attention span as well. So that's about us, and also being supported by these organizations, as I mentioned, Rehabilitation Council of India, NIMHANS, National Trust, the Kerala Social Security Mission. So hope you got to know about ST technology, and also what are the types and what are the disability, how to choose it, who going to be validated as well, and what are the different data sets. Look, I mean, what are the different data we have to take it up, and I also gave an example of various ST technology startups, and I just take you to that one. And this is our mentors who support us in developing. We have organization support from US organizations as well, Boston Higashi International School, and also NICA project by Dan Phillip, and other doctors and neurologists, occupation therapist. So these are the doctors who support us. And basically my mom, she's also she's a therapist, and is a postdoctoral in clinical neurology. So she do have a clinic over in Trivandrum. And that's how actually I got this thought about. But it's not necessarily that you can also go there and understand what is the disability, of a kid, or in different centers. There are various centers out there who are having various issues and study one topic and know about how the physiological and psychological aspect of it, and and make a solution for them. So that's what about our team and our core team and investors group as well. And the co-founder Bobin Chandra is also our co-founder at CFO as well. And now we have a dynamic team, a 14-member team as well. So that's about us. And there are a lot to share, but limited time. I have other calls as well, and we'll have a proper different, tinkering sessions with individually. We can, if anyone's interested, you can actually come to approach our company. You can take this form and do a feedback. This is a feedback form. You can actually put your details over here, and I think just text this into group as well. Okay. Fine, and also I'd like to take it up. There are various, Autism Speaks and various different sites out there, big hacks, and you just take it up, a note of it, how assistive technology devices have been defined. I just share you some of the links over here, and share you major links which supports about know about what is AT. Okay, so just take a look into those things, and also various company which supports ATs. But there are various tools, and also as I mentioned, Neo Motion is another electric wheelchair which actually they have ergonomically did, and they are one of our partners as well, actually supporting, and we actually been partner with them long back. So for for a disability with the autistic also we provide these tools. So that's about us, and also I'll share you about our platform, My AUTICARE. We have a online platform which provides consultation, coaching, and understand, giving an idea about what is importance of this, assistive technology tool, where it has a VR interactive scenarios, data capture, behavioral platforms, and we have a small tryout, VR components. If they use a mobile phone, they can turn around and see it as well. So these are different products we sell, and as a AT, and also we have consultation, online consultation. We have clients across globally. We have clients as well. Okay, and just to give you idea about what's the technology and different startups out there, you can actually get this presentation once you actually fill the form, and I can share you this presentation regarding it. And these are the different other startup companies which produce assistive technology products, like it's a smart tools which with the help of phone they can actually say, for example, you can look into this part, right? So they have a phone over there top of it and read the books. So this is basically augmented reality application. So they have phone on top of the stand, and using this it'll actually when you turn the page, it actually give the audio and about what it. So even if the blind people can actually do it and learn as well. So there are these Tactop is also one of our, so you can see how it works. So another tool.
By Tactopus, front cover. This book is about all the special things about animals. Open the book to start on this adventure. Who are you? I am a bee. What makes you special? I collect nectar from flowers and make the youngest honey. Of all the bees, I am the best. The bee is a flying insect with 6 legs and 4 wings. There is one on this page, as seen from its left side. On top of the page, you'll find that only 2 wings are shown in this picture. The wings and legs are attached to the body of the bee, which has 3 parts. On the left, in this picture, is the bee's head. This image only shows one of its big eye, but a bee has 5 eyes. Yes, a bee has 5 eyes. Attached to the head are 2 thin long antennae. Bees use this to smell, just like we use our nose to smell. To the right of the head is the thorax. This is where the wings and legs are attached to the body. Can you find the 6 thin legs under the bee's body? A little more to the right is its large abdomen. This is where the bee's classic yellow and black stripes are most
So that's how the
What makes you special? Who are you? I am a frog. What makes you special? I can live on land.
so this is a simple augmented reality
There is only
application.
one-
There, this actually they make, and they have various card-based, math-based applications out there. So one of the example of it, and also there are various VR application competitors, as I mentioned, especially for elderly and who are having pain in for in this in various aspects. I'll show you this video look like. So this is we are one of the competitor basically, and to show you how the video look like. So this is
Health dictates your life. So it's time to put your recovery in better hands. Welcome to XR Health, a virtual reality telehealth clinic. You can now get professional medical treatments right at home. Meet with your XR Health clinician online, discuss your symptoms, and begin your path to a better, more enjoyable recovery. Your recovery will use a state-of-the-art virtual reality system, which will be sent right to your door. Welcome to the future of healthcare. Thanks to VR, 97% of our patients enjoy their recovery with XR Health, but more importantly, report a faster recovery than traditional treatments. We use virtual reality to guide your recovery in a simple and practical way, keeping your treatment fun while at the same time sending valuable data to your clinician. You can even track your progress on our dashboard. Watching your recovery.
So hope you got an idea about it, right? So that's about AT and another company called Symbionic, and the Chennai-based company where basically they create AI-based pattern recognition, 3D print, custom built hands. So they do precise and tailor-made for comfort of for prosthetic use as well. So they also got a Barak. They are one of our the brass-based Assistive technology accelerator as well. So we basically collaborate with these people as well. So so you can actually so hope you got an idea about what is AT and how it actually look like, and what are the various companies out there uses AT. And so my question is that if you have any idea, or you before you want to get an idea, have to be understand the problem, right? So you should make a problem that you find a problem how inclusive people can actually get benefit out there. And there are many problems out there with inclusive people as well, and identified and create a really good application for day-to-day life more easier. Thank you. All right. Okay, I got a questions over here. Fine. Is it specifically designed for each person? Yeah, definitely. There are tools which especially for see, as you got to know, right? So this is basically they do especially for tailor-made comfort. So they do once they actually do the measurements and everything, and based on their requirement they do it. So there are companies who do for that perspective as well. So we can do 3D printing, and there are various applications and developments are available there. How to make a tailor-made product out. So we can design a generic equipment which can understand the usage pattern of person and adapt to his own taste. Yeah, definitely. It can be done, and so you have to make sure that your platform has a basic understanding about that particular disability as a whole. Okay, as a generic, and you add on value addition or add on components according to the custom requirement. So that is possible. So so as I mentioned about the adaptability of this this thing, even for our application, because our application we won't create a scenario or a game for a kid as a whole. We first of all diagnose there's a diagnostic process out there. And so this you can see we'll diagnose all the perspective, like social perspective, emotional aspect, speech and language communication, behavioral aspect, sensory, cognitive perspective, and understand the difference between how they actually evolve and difference, and evaluate the various tests. So these are the tests we did, and there are various papers we published according to that. So for example, you can see the kid, patient A4, basically this is number of intervention he did. Intervention means a activity, a grouping scenario, fruit grouping scenario, and whether the first time whether he did properly. So it took around 1.5 months to take a study of one kid to do one activity. And here you can see the success count. Okay, success count means he can able to understand what is the apple all about. He and also attention span through eye tracking we identified, and he picked the apple, put over the basket by the response from the avatar. So if you do the entire task, there are multiple apples and put in the right basket. There are multiple baskets kept over there. If you doing the whole task together, he can able to success. That's a success count. So it took around 50 different intervention per day, 45 minutes of exposure. It took 50 minutes of intervention. Then rehearsal version 4 means that whether he doing the same task in real world. So we did a real world experiment, like how he able to do it. So the point is here we identified most of the case kids are able to do it in the real world by the virtual intervention. So that's how we understand, okay, this kid is being skill retention is there by the multiple positive reinforcement method, and the reward methods also kept over there. So that's what the data shows over it. And there are various scoring based on the scales, ECE scales as well. We use various scale, ECE and CAS scale as well. So that's about us. And also there are various papers regarding it. So this is how whole things works, and we use Oculus Quest, HTC Vive. These are the headgears we provide. All right. Then how to train the disabled person? Yep. So once you do, so first of all, we understand there are different guidelines for doing that, and also we'll make them understand how to use it. For example, we are taking their data, right, to know about their issues and their overall. So basically we have to do the clinical trial. So it can be with the help of doctors or with practitioners who are already doing. So basically you can go to the institution, you can find the disabled kid and take a case study over there and sit with them and understand the problem. Or else you can get into the right now we used to go with the different disabled communities. There are various disabled communities out there, and we get in touch with these people. And also so one of the person is the Aspi World. Okay, he is a social media influencer. He's an autistic person as well. So he do various videos out there and understand about various issues, how adult autistic. He's autistic, but he's a normal high functional autistic person. But he do a lot of videos out there and to motivate people. And like that, there are various communities out there, and reach out to this community and take a study, prepare a questionnaire. Take a questionnaire based on that. There are various ways we out there. So there is something called ability. Okay, ability is something. I'll just show that what they provide. So there are various questionnaires they provide here. Just show that. So here you can see the checklist. Okay, just look into it.
If a student or your child is facing difficulty, it is hard to know where exactly the child needs help. And checklists are a good starting point to understand in greater detail the challenges faced by the child. Introducing Ability Checklist for professionals and parents. Ability checklists can be used to understand various academic and non-academic challenges faced by the children. Ability checklists follow the entire process from getting consent from the parents, performing the checklist digitally, to getting and sharing recommendations and reminders to measure progress after some interventions. Register your interest today to get early access to these digital checklists.
Yeah, so basically they have checklist. This is a company, start a company basically for reading skills, writing skills, arithmetics. So through this checklist, we can able to get some data regarding it. So you can say that, okay, I'm studying and I'm actually a kid who actually, person who actually doing data research in this particular area, and you can provide this checklist to these communities, okay, and take the data and understand about that and have a proper concern with the parents, and also create a really good video regarding what actually your research makes really good outcome of it. Okay, then what's next? What are different gadgets? Yeah, I think I cover most of the gadgets out there. You can even look into this various companies out there. I just show that. I think yeah, these are the global companies. I'll text you in the group chat. Sorry, I'm there. Okay. And also I'll put Indian companies here. So this gives you a complete insight about Indian companies. Look into these companies, and also we can definitely help you guys in the project perspective, where we in all overall aspect, like in the learning perspective, learning disability sector, autism spectrum disorder, and also we have a whole group of community across world, where one of our partner called Key to Enable is also one of our global partner, and who supports with us as well. And I just show you that Key to Enable. There are various applications and tools out there, for various therapies. Okay, I think our time is all right. So I just finished with this, where they use. I'll just share one more video out there. It'll be helpful to understand about this. Yeah. Just look into it. This really,
in this video, we are going to learn how to turn the KeyX on. We are just going to need the KeyX assistive panel, a computer, and a USB cable. So, to turn it on, we just plug the square end of the USB cable on KeyX. In the flat tip, into the flash as soon as the computer has reached more than once, showing it here once. From the type 2 button indicates that you need to touch.
I think it's showing how to use it. There is videos which actually kids are using as well. So they basically they are one of our partners in Guitex, where we won that particular challenge with them. They also got that particular award. So we actually knowing each other. So basically, they provide a Key to Enabler platform for kids who are having issue with the the problems. I mean, issue with this speech, issue with accessibility, motion, and also touch issues as well. So they can even use this keyboard. This is a keyboard for this is one ST technology tool for especially for special education people, and also cerebral palsy kids as well. Okay, and that's what I would like to take it up, and you can take this various resources out there. Okay, thank you guys. I think I covered pretty much. All right, any doubts? Okay, when we are going to get full body suit for physical disability, do you see any progress in the field? Okay, so full body suits, it's basically we use gyro sensors to understand the motion with that, and also without gyro sensors, without wearable, we can capture with the 3D cameras. We use Kinect cameras to know about the whole body movement, and we use leaf motion for different, so that it can be wearable and without wearable as well. We can see the progress. Yes, exactly. So so there is one other video I'd like to show. So this is something, eye tracking, sensors actually based on the eye movements. Recently people are, this is basically by one of the developer which we know, and basically, he worked in at OPI as well. So any sort of eye movements can be captured to know about their kids' behavioral perspective, and also various. They use AI functionality, like AI algorithm for it to understand about the people movements in this structure. So that's okay. Then what else? Affordable for middle class. Yes, there are many. That's what I put across various companies out there. Many companies are made more affordable as well. And did I miss any kind of questions? Minimum level of cognitive capacity is required for this device. Yeah, it can. We basically, it's not like minimum. We have to make sure that this support for these groups, right? That's a really important factor. we cannot set the benchmark. We have to get set the benchmark based on the level of severity of disability. So if your form need permission in order to give feedbacks. Okay. All right. All right. So you can actually mail to this mail ID. I think I'm actually for any queries or internships programs, we actually supporting people as well. So please mail to this mail ID and share the details. I think I'm done with the presentation. Thank you, guys. I extended somewhere around 20 minutes. All right.
Jonathan?
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Now here, Sujan Sunil from ECE with vote of thanks.
Very good evening to everyone. I'm then at a great honor to privilege to propose a vote of thanks in this memorable occasion. First and foremost, I would like to thank our special guest, Mr. Satyanan sir, for his valuable time and a very informative session. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to thank our respected principal, Balajan sir, and vice principal, Shiva ma'am, for the unrestricted support for this webinar. Thank you, ma'am. And my heartless thanks to all the HODs and other faculties for their support, guidance, and encouragement for our effort. And I owe a special gratitude to VB Anish of S8 ECE for his effort and support in conducting this webinar. And now, last not the least, I would like to thank all the students and other faculties for attending this webinar and making this as a resounding success. Thank you all.
Once again, thank you, sir. Thank you all on behalf of ETRA to join us and attending this webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.